Hey, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you coming back for another class. Today I'm going to be talking about productivity systems. I know there are hundreds of productivity systems out there. There's literally thousands of gurus out there that are telling you do this versus do that. This is just honestly 3 of the systems that I personally use, and this is just something that I tell people to use because they've worked for me. So I'm going to go through each of them individually, and hopefully one of them can benefit you. So let's get started. The first one is the GTD, Getting Things Done methodology. And this was first created by David Allen. It is a comprehensive system for managing tasks and projects that helps leaders capture, clarify, organize, reflect, and engage. So let's go through each of those steps. First is the capture. So first you're going to collect all tasks, ideas, and commitments. You're going to start your day with a brain dump. Literally just jot down all your tasks, ideas, commitments, anything that you need to do for the day or anything that's on your mind. The goal is to get everything out of your brain so you're not actually focused and thinking on it. So the clear your mind and ensure nothing is forgotten. You can use, there's apps for this. I personally use Todoist, and also I have a digital task manager. I'll share that template in the link below. And then also I do old school, just literally writing things down by hand. So whatever works for you, the main thing is to make sure it's consistent that you're doing this every single day. David Allen said, your mind is for having ideas, not holding them. Couldn't have said it any better. Next, we will clarify. Process what we've captured into clear and concrete action steps. So the action steps, you need to break down a broad task into specific action steps. As you'll see from the previous class, everything kind of goes, kind of like compounds on each other. For example, if you captured, let's say your plan was plan the Q3 marketing campaign, then you need to clarify it into actionable steps like research marketing trends, draft campaign objectives, and schedule brainstorming sessions. So if there's a larger task, just chisel it down and make sure you get a bunch of small minor tasks. Next is organize. Put everything in the right place. So categorization. Use folders, tags, or lists to categorize tasks. So for up above, these are all marketing tasks. If you have budgeting tasks or whatever the case is. Place time-sensitive tasks on your calendar. Ongoing projects on a project list, and reference materials in a dedicated folder or app. So essentially, you're going to be time blocking your day as well, right? So we're going to get to the next technique, which will help you do this, but make sure that you actually just block it in your schedule. So you do just one thing at a time, and then just do it, knock it out, and then keep moving forward. Reflect. Regularly review and update your system. So you should always do a weekly review. Set aside time each week to review your task list, update your calendar, and ensure all tasks are current. Reflect on what was accomplished and adjust plans for the coming week. Lastly, engage. Take action on your task with confidence. Focus on the next actionable step. If a task like write quarterly report is too broad, break it down to draft report outline, gather financial data to make it more manageable. The goal is when we talk about procrastination, a lot of people procrastinate because they just don't know where to begin. Sometimes that's honestly that the task is too large, so breaking it down to small manageable pieces helps you at least focus and get more done. That's what it's called, getting things done. Next on the list, we have the Pomodoro Technique. This technique got its name after Francesco Cirillo timed his sessions using a timer that was in the shape of a tomato. The Italian word for tomato is, you guessed it, Pomodoro. And thus the technique was named. So the Pomodoro Technique is a method to balance focus with deliberate breaks depending on how long your task is. So you need to first, one Pomodoro, one timer, one tomato, is 25 minutes. So you do 25 minutes of straight focus work, and then you take a little break, and then you complete 4 of those, and you get to take a longer break. And as you see in the red, no distractions, no sneaking work in this little break time. So work and focus 25-minute intervals. These are called Pomodoros. Single task focus. Choose just one task, set a timer for 25 minutes, and work exclusively on that task without any interruptions. This helps to maintain deep focus and reduces the temptation to multitask. I don't know if you're like me, but whenever I set myself to do things, something else comes up, and I find myself doing 2-3 things at a time, and then all of a sudden I realize at the end of, let's say, an hour, I have accomplished 0 because I've gotten like 70% of 3 to 4 things done, and I have not gotten anything done actually to completion for 100%. So this focused session will actually help, and if you compound that with the getting things done methodology that we just talked about, where you're breaking everything down into smaller tasks, this is how you can accomplish all your goals. Then you take a 5-minute break in between each Pomodoro. After each 25-minute session, you take a 5-minute break. So stand up, stretch, grab a snack, drink water, stay hydrated. That's extremely critical. These breaks will prevent burnout and help maintain high energy levels, keep you going super productive throughout the entire day. After 4 Pomodoros, you take a longer break. It says 15 to 30 minutes, but I'd honestly recommend 30 minutes. So extended rest, use the longer break to disconnect from work completely, literally disconnect completely. Engage in a relaxing activity such as taking a walk, meditating, journaling, taking a nap, anything you can do to keep yourself going and staying motivated for the rest of the day. And the third technique that we have is called Kanban. I say Kanban, some people say Kanban. Honestly, I don't know which one it is, but I call them a Kanban board. So essentially this is what it looks like, where you move items, there's lists, then you move them from one to the next as you go further on in completing the items on the list. So Kanban boards are is a visual system for managing work as it moves through a process, helping leaders visualize workflow, limit work in progress, manage flow, and continuously improve. This is honestly like, I don't know if there's any Scrum Masters watching this or anyone who does agile methodologies, but this is one of the things, I guess the backbone of the Scrum or the agile framework is using Kanban boards. So first you create columns for different stages. This is to do, so generally it's called a backlog, then work in progress, then we have to validate, and then it's complete. Task stages, so set up the board with columns, add the task to appropriate column to visually track their progress. Tools like Trello. Trello is super simple. It's amazing to use. Jira is great as well, but it's a little bit more advanced. If you are new to this whole Kanban board system, let's say you just start with Trello. It's literally free to create an account. It's amazing. And this is extremely critical right here. So the work in progress, which is generally your second category, whatever you call it, doing in progress, it doesn't matter what it is, work in progress, you should set a maximum tasks that are allowed in each stage. So the backlog is kind of what controls everything. Whenever you have a new idea, something new that comes up that you have to do, put in the backlog. And let's say that as you can start completing your goals, you need to reorganize your backlog. In Scrum, we call that backlog refinement, but essentially you're just dragging and moving the items up and down as they become more or less important. If it's sometimes even not important anymore, then you can just trash it and be done with it. But if it becomes more important, then just put it to the top. But so the work in progress should be very, very limited because it should be something you're actively working on currently. Make sure that you're not just putting too much on your plate and then you get nothing done. Limit the number of tasks to be in work in progress at any given time to prevent overload and ensure focus. If the limit is 3, do not start a new task until one of the 3 is complete. So you finish one here and move it to validate. Let's say you're waiting on someone else for approval, or you just have to review it yourself. And then you take one more and put into work in progress. And then also like keep a limit on in terms of validation to make sure things are moving all the way through to the end to completion. Manage flow. Move tasks across the board as they progress. Move from to do to in progress and then to done as you work through them. This provides a clear visual representation of your workflow and progress. Regularly analyze and optimize your workflow. Retrospectives. If you're working with a team, this is super important. You should hold regular team meetings to discuss what's working and what isn't. You should adjust the process and workflow based on feedback to improve efficiency. This might involve changing the work in progress limit, so maybe 3 is too low, maybe 3 is way too high. Adding new columns or adjusting the task priorities. In conclusion, implementing these advanced productivity systems like GTD, the Pomodoro Technique, or Kanban boards can significantly enhance a leader's ability to manage tasks, maintain focus, and streamline workflows. By adopting these methodologies, leaders can improve efficiency, reduce stress, and achieve their goals more effectively. And today's quote is by Paul J. Meyer. Productivity is never an accident. It is always the result of a commitment to excellence, intelligent planning, and focused effort. Thank you so much for joining us today. As always, remember, leadership is a journey, not a destination. Peace.